Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, hawaiirealestate.org. It is a beautiful sunrise right now happening on the island of Maui. Check it out. Literally the sun just popped up over the West Maui mountains. So I'm gonna warn you guys, I've had my Kona coffee. I'm a morning person, I don't know about you, but man, after 10 o'clock at night, I'm worthless. But 5 o'clock in the morning, man, I'm on fire. I think ever since I turned 50, I used to be able to stay up late and get up early. Not anymore. I gotta go to bed. But the good news is Maui and Hawaii is made for morning people, in my opinion. So, especially if you traveled here from the mainland, you're basically, 4 or 5 or 6 hours. So by 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 10 o'clock where you're from. So it's a morning place. So I had some requests to do a live down here at the airport beach and the boardwalk going between here and the Honua Kai and Dukes. So I'm going to do that for you here this morning. But real quick, you're probably tuning in for the first time maybe. My name is Eric West. The name of this channel is hawaiirealestate.org. I'm all about teaching you everything you need to know about Hawaii and its real estate, but sometimes you can't find the listing. Recently, I've been posting these live videos every single day, and I'm going to do that to promote both tourism here in the state of Hawaii and also to promote real estate, because obviously I'm a real estate agent, and I think it's a great opportunity if you're a buyer because there's a softening in the market, slight softening in the market. So that's going to change as soon as everyone comes back here, I believe. So if you're in the market, now's a good time. Strike while the iron is hot. And also, if you haven't watched the Maui Food Bank or Food Line video I made a few days ago, please find that on my channel. Maybe I'll actually put a link to it here in the description when I'm done. But please watch that video, and if you can, please share it and create awareness for the need that's here in Maui, and I'm sure on every island in Hawaii. And please give to the food bank if you can. At a very minimum, please share the video so we build that awareness. And number two, if you can give even $5, every little bit counts, as you know, in this pandemic and economic disaster that we find ourselves in here in Hawaii and across the globe. So with that said, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the beautiful island of Maui. So I've had some wonderful conversations with people that have called me from all over the planet, and it's pretty cool actually to chat with you all. And a lot of you are actually looking to come here and live in Hawaii and make this your home or your second home. And one of the things that came up recently is, well, why would you pick Maui over, say, Kauai or Oahu or the Big Island, or over here we've got Molokai. I mean, you could live on Molokai, right? You could even live on Lanai if you wanted to. But why Maui? In my opinion, this is the answer. I could have lived anywhere, right? Literally, I could have picked any island. And so I did a lot of research. Here's why I love Maui. Number one, a guy that I was ziplining with one time, a little kid, right? He's like some 18-year-old kid. I asked him the same question because he had traveled all over the islands working on the cruise ship. For like 3 or 4 years, this kid had been on the cruise ship. And I asked him the same question. I said, hey, where would you live? And he literally just looked at me and he goes, Maui no ka oi. I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, wow. Of course, now I know what it means. And it means Maui's the best, right? It's the best island. And when the Hawaiian royalty was in charge of this kingdom, they would come to this spot right here to vacation. So think about that. The royalty could have gone anywhere. They chose to vacation on Maui, and they chose the west side of Maui, specifically Lahaina, which is that direction. And that is the capital, was the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom. So that tells you something. Number two, you've got these neighboring islands. So you have Molokai right there, Lanai, as I pointed out. You have Ko'olave, and you have the Big Island in that direction there. So why is that important? Well, two things. Number one, it creates this sense of neighbors that you have right there. You don't feel like you're just stuck out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which is important. You don't want to get that island fever, which is possible, I believe, if you're just staring at open ocean all the time. So here on the west side of Maui, we look at these neighboring islands. That's psychologically huge. But from a practical standpoint, they really help with hurricanes, right? So the Big Island, love the Big Island because they absorb a lot of that energy sometimes when those hurricanes come. But also these land masses here, there's no question that when a hurricane hits a land mass, it loses energy. And so having these protective islands here, I believe, is a huge reason to choose Maui as your place of residence or second home. And then the final thing would be, hey, there is that element of getting a little bit of island fever. And so I love the fact that Maui is a figure 8. So if you look at it, you can actually drive the entire island in a figure 8. You've got 2 mountains, right? You've got the West Maui Mountains and you've got Haleakala. And so basically it's a different energy versus the other islands, Oahu and Kauai. They are semicircles. You can't really even drive all the way around them. Also, that affects traffic patterns. So I just think Maui, being the second largest landmass, right? It's bigger than all the other islands except for the Big Island. And it has that figure 8 circle. It just creates a different kind of an energy, and I think you're just less likely to get that island fever. That's just what I believe and what I've found to be true. And there's just so many different things to do here on the island of Maui, whereas some of the other islands can be considered a little sleepy, kind of country, you know, and some of them are a little too populated. I won't mention any names. Oahu. And the Big Island's cool, man. It's great. I mean, I love them all, don't get me wrong. And the neat thing is when you live here, you can go to those islands, right? It's what, 15-minute flight. You can do like a little staycation. So you can take advantage. You want to go to some big city action, want to do some shopping? Hey, let's go to Oahu, man. I love Oahu. Go up to the North Shore, Haleiwa. I mean, that's one of the best vibes you'll ever find in any place on earth, right? The epicenter of surfing. So anyway, that's a little bit of information about why I love Maui. And, you know, but you can't go wrong. Anywhere you end up in Hawaii, it is a little piece of paradise. It is a national treasure. And certainly that's why we want to come together and support the people of Maui and Hawaii in this time of need, because this is American soil, and this is, you know, a special place. And so we need to all come together and support it, and you know, support the people. Donate to the Maui Food Bank if you can, and certainly if you're ready to come over here as of October 15th, you can travel here without having to quarantine. Matter of fact, I will put a link in this description. Got my helmet on. We're getting ready to go on the one wheel. Hey, by the way, I wanted to mention to you, the only reason I do this, I'm not like some grown child. I mean, okay, I am a grown child, but my kids had me buy this for them. And I was watching some YouTube video reviews, and one guy was a YouTuber, and he goes, hey man, I use this thing to shoot my motion video because it's so smooth. It's like being on a dolly in Hollywood. And I thought, man, that is such a great idea. So I don't do it because, I mean, I'm a surfer, but I really only ride the one wheel when I'm shooting video for you guys. So I've got to set this down while I clip my helmet. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I do believe in safety, of course, at all times. Be smart. But what was I saying? I totally forgot my stream of consciousness. Okay, I'll figure it out. So here we go. Where are we at? We are at Airport Beach Park. That is the easy version of the name of the park. The other version is a little bit tougher. And this is a beautiful morning boardwalk walk, if you will. And it's a beautiful evening sunset walk as well. But you'll notice it is absolutely nobody here, which is another reason to come to Hawaii. I believe in the first few weeks and months, you're going to experience an empty island, something you'll probably never experience again for the rest of your life, because we have got a very high occupancy rate throughout the year, and there's really not even a slow season anymore. So to be able to come here and experience some of this without the crowds is a huge opportunity, in my opinion. So here we are at the Westin. This is a fantastic resort, and I think they are actually open. I can't go on the property with my one wheel without getting yelled at, but I just want to give you a quick peek at this property. If you're a owner here, thumbs up. It's a timeshare. Beautiful, beautiful resort. Love the Westin. I noticed for the first time the barricades are down entering the property, so I do believe they're taking guests, but that's not confirmed. But I can hear the pool, and I can see people, like employees, kind of walking around. Like right there, there's an employee. So that's a very encouraging sign. And I'm going to try not to talk the whole time, because I think it's just kind of fun taking in the environment. So part of this live video series I'm discovering myself as well is it's an opportunity to kind of experience Maui vicariously through the iPhone 11 camera lens, which is doing a pretty good job. And just sort of pretend like you're on this little morning walk yourself. I did find the windsock for my microphone, had a spare, so I know the video yesterday was a little bit windy in places, so I do apologize, but the windsock is back on the mic. By the way, I just think they're all Westons, by the way, so yeah. Weston really has a strong presence here in West Maui, so if you come and stay at a Weston, be sure that you get the exact street address. Otherwise, your driver, or you, if you're driving, might end up at the wrong spot, which can be annoying after a long flight. Oh yeah, I remember I was going to say earlier, I was going to put a link in the description to a website with the latest update for traveling to Hawaii. I don't want to say too much verbally because I found out that things change and then the video is no longer pertinent, and then I get a lot of comments saying that I said something wrong. So it's a changing landscape. So I'm going to put a link to the best website that I know of that will give you the most up-to-date information. One thing I learned yesterday from a reliable source is that, let's say for example, you take a test for COVID and you come over here, but you don't have the results yet, right? You just get on the airplane, you don't have the results, you're like, So you get over here, well, all of a sudden you will go into quarantine, but let's say your negative result comes through while you're here. Say you're on day 2 of your quarantine, the negative result comes in, you'll be released from your quarantine. That's what I've learned. So you can get on that airplane, come over here, quarantine, but then be released as soon as that negative result is issued. So that's something that I learned yesterday from a reliable source. But again, please click the link in the description for the latest updates and the latest from the state. Obviously, it's an evolving, changing, dynamic environment we're living in these days. But what do you guys think of these crowds so far, huh? This is crazy, right? I don't want to forget the most important thing, which would be the ocean over here. And at any point, this boardwalk cuts over and you can get onto the sand. Okay, so here I gotta, talk a little bit about real estate. Here we're coming up on the honua, which is the most recently built fee simple condominium offering on the west side of Maui. It holds a special place in a lot of people's heart. Thumbs up if you love the honua. Matter of fact, my kids follow YouTubers, they're kids. And a lot of the YouTubers, when they come to Maui, guess where they stay? Oh, right here at the honua. So I'm not gonna go on that property. I got in trouble already for that on a live I did a while ago. But anyway, there's Duke's right there. Thumbs up if you love Duke's. I also love Duke's Waikiki. I always go there when I'm in Waikiki. One of my favorite places to eat. Fish tacos, amazing. And this is a fantastic Duke's as well. I don't know if they're open yet, I'll be honest with you. A lot of restaurants are just opening on the weekends. Today is obviously a weekday and it's in the morning. But the honua is also special because it is the most consistently high producing return on investment condominium in West Maui. So every dollar you invest here in a studio 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom will put out the most return. Granted, it's not a, they're luxury, they're high end, they're big bucks. They start at around $1 million, but you will definitely experience the best return on investment in there if you can afford it. And then right here, of course, we have the mahana, very close to the ocean. You can tell the difference. This is the new setback. That's the old setback rules. Morning. So you'll never build a building that close to the ocean ever again. And that's why it's cool to buy something at the mahana. I call it the boat because you could be sitting in your lanai and you could literally be getting splashed by waves. It's a fantastic offering. And next to that is Maui Kai, another good option, a little more affordable. So here we are in the public parking lot. So this is also a public park. So you can come down here and park your car and get to the beach and play some frisbee. Lots of parking, ample parking. By the way, if you ever stay at the mahana or Maui Kai, or even Kaanaapali shores, Papakea. You can easily walk through this little gate up here and get to the beach, get to Dukes, get to North Kaanaapali Beach. And that's one of the reasons I love those resorts. You don't pay the big dollars of being right on Kaanaapali Beach, North Kaanaapali Beach, but you definitely have easy access to it. And going for a nice stroll in the morning or the evening, that's what it's all about. You know, it's beautiful weather, fine dining, and lots of sand. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, in my opinion. But I'm not opposed to, you know, staying right there at the honua kai as well. So whatever your budget will allow, try to maximize the experience is how I look at it. And a lot of that comes from just having a little inside knowledge. Because obviously one of the reasons I make these videos, I realize a lot of people watching them have never been here, or it's been a while. So this is a great refresher. And I love to give tips on different things because it's just helpful. I imagine, hey, if I was going to go to the Bahamas, you know, and go to, you know, or go to St. Martin, or, you know, I've never been there before, it'd be nice to have a little inside information before I make my travel plans. Okay, so now obviously we're heading back the direction that we came, and now we're going to do the whole little trip again, but we're going to go to the other end so you can see the full scope of this boardwalk. And one of the reasons people love this is because it's, you know, it's flat, it's easy walking, you know, and then if you wanted to get over to the beach, obviously that's a quick little, here I'll show you how that works. There's all these little entry points right here. This one says steep drop off, so the sand has probably moved a little bit, which you can see. Oh, they've got stairs right there, so that's great. But here we are, and this gives you a shot of the sandy portion. The sand runs out about the time you get to Maui Kai. They've got a seawall, but you've got sand all the way up to the mahana. Obviously the high tides will bring water up closer, but it's a great sandy beach, and it's long, uninterrupted, all the way down to Black Rock there. And then you can actually walk through the Sheraton and get to the other side of Kaanaapali, South Kaanaapali, which is where we have the Whaler, the Ali'i, some more Westons, and, and of course, Whalers Village. But morning is a great time to come down here. If you love to swim, get in the water, the light, the way it hits the water, it just illuminates everything in a different way. So if you're into that, it's a beautiful time to go snorkel. The fish are waking up, you know, so it's just a really special time to get out there, go for a swim. It's one of my favorite exercises actually, is to get in the water with a snorkel and some fins and swim, and I can breathe, you know, without sucking in a bunch of water, and then watch the fish as I'm swimming. You know, it's entertainment. It's a great exercise. I don't know what it is, if it's the minerals in the water. Oh, this dog's gonna get me. Thank you. Dogs love one wheels. They love to chase them and bark at them. But can you even believe that nobody's here? I mean, normally on any given morning, this would have a fair number of people on it. Not Southern California numbers, but you know, a good number of people going for their walk, having a nice jog, drinking their coffee, maybe recovering, you know, from too many Mai Tais, whatever it is. It would be buzzing with folks, you know, enjoying their vacation. Now it's like, what, maybe 5 people total on this thing. Morning. So what we're coming up upon here is another, a lot of people don't know about this. This is actually another public park. You can see the public restroom over there. And there is actually parking there as well. I'm sure this was part of the arrangement they had to make with the hotels and whatnot to keep access to the public and create a park space. it's good to know. If you're not staying in this area, you know there's a place to come park your car and have quick access to the ocean. And yes, I've received all of your requests to go to different parts of Maui, and it's all on the schedule. I'll be heading down to Kihei and Wailea, up to Paia, up to Makawao, over to Paia, show those towns, and I'm open to requests. So if you have a place that you'd like me to go scope out, I'm more than happy to go do it. And I think I will actually keep the video series going past October 15th, because things will start to open up, and I want to make sure everyone has got a good, inside scoop on what's actually open and what's happening after the travel begins back to Maui. And I want to be able to share that and show that. And I'm curious myself. I'm ready to go out to eat and enjoy. And but are the also another question I'm getting a lot is, are there activities that are available? And I believe these activity companies will, rebound and will take bookings. I would say at this point in time, if I was in your shoes, I would start reaching out. If you're making travel plans, start reaching out to some of your favorite activity providers and shoot them a text or an email or whatever. Go to their website and try to let them know that you're interested, because a lot of the reopening, I believe, for those types of activities will come as a result of inquiries and a feel for the demand. Clearly, this is what people do for a living, so there's, I'm sure, a desire to open. But as you know, a lot of these businesses tried to reopen and then close down again because there's nobody here. So I think as soon as they see that pull on the market and that interest, it'll start to activate. And of course, that's one of the reasons I'm making these videos for everyone on the mainland and around the world, is to show, a little reminder, we're here. Don't forget about Maui. Come on over. And it's worse than you think. It's not making the national news what's happening here, but I'm here to shine a light on it and hopefully bring some awareness and create some travel dollars. And in the meantime, do a shout out to various businesses that I know are fantastic and worthy of your patronage. You got some morning exercise crew happening, or maybe they're divers. Yeah, so this is a great place. I bet they're exercisers. But you'll see a lot of dive shops come here in the morning and do guided shore dives. Great place to shore dive. Matter of fact, my kids got their sea cards right there, their lessons. Morning.
Morning.
So there's a nice oceanfront lot for sale. Another beautiful oceanfront home. Pretty sure that one's under contract. Big bucks right there. Another oceanfront lot for sale. We got two of them. Bring your money. I'd be more than happy to write the contract up for you, but you can't ask for a better place to build a house. Seriously. You can see them here too. Multi-million-dollar homes right here. Best beach on Maui, in my opinion. My humble opinion. I'm also someone that believes in referring people to good builders, and I've got a curated list, and I've got a few favorites on that list that'll take great care of you and will not charge an arm and a leg. So here's where the beach walk ends, and then where it heads off to is MKV, which is a resort called Maui Kaanaapali Villas, MKV for short. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but here it is. Thumbs up if you love the MKV. This is a fee simple property. You can purchase a condo here. Multiple options. You have the back building, a little bit cheaper. You have the oceanfront buildings, a little bit more expensive. The Dolphin right there. This would normally be a bustling hub of check-in, check-out right now. There's also some back buildings there as well. So just so many options here at MKV, but a beautiful resort, fantastic location, lots of aloha. The staff here is amazing. Can't say enough good things about MKV. And they even have it tattooed in their gardening. Check it out. There it is right there. MKV. See, I wasn't kidding. Ooh. Bird of paradise, some doves. know about you guys, but I just love the sound of the birds in Hawaii, the doves. And then when the sun goes down, you know, they all go back to roost in these trees, and they just make this symphony of sound. It's crazy, deafening in many cases. If you've ever been to Kaanaapali shores at sunset, you know, in the courtyard in the middle, I mean, it's like a symphony of birds. And then of course the plumerias on the trees. I mean, the smell of this is just wafting through the air at all times. Matter of fact, I tell people that live here, it's like, you gotta go to the mainland for at least a month every year and experience, you know, that. Because when you come back here, you'll go for a walk in the morning and you'll be like, wow, smell that, right? But you get kind of used to it sometimes when you live here. So it's important to deprive yourself of the sights and sounds of Hawaii, because when you come back, you'll appreciate it that much more. So I think a mandatory 30 days, you must leave the island, and then, you know, get that attitude check, get that smile back on your face, and remember that you live in paradise, and it is a paradise. Just the clean air, just the sounds, the smells, the lack of mayhem, the lack of protesting. I mean, I could go on and on. I won't get on my soapbox, but one of the reasons I'm here, even before the world got turned upside down, you know, I was concerned about my family's safety back in 2010, right? When everything was quote unquote normal. So now it's just reinforces my decision. It's like, yep, we're here because it's safe. And it will continue to be that way. That's one thing I love about the locals and the Hawaiian people. You know, they are ruled by the spirit of aloha. They really are. They might be upset about some things, but in the end, they are definitely a loving culture. And that cannot be understated. And that will never change. That's why people come here, is for the spirit of aloha. And it's alive and well. I truly, truly believe that. Okay, so we're gonna head back to the beach real quick. And by the way, if you ever have a little birthday party for your kids or a little celebration for yourself, this is a great place to come. With some picnic tables, restrooms, lots of place to hang out and throw the frisbee or whatever you're into. And this is a great spot just to come down and exercise in the morning, throw out your yoga mat, do your crunches, do your stretches, and thank God for another beautiful day in paradise. So that's the tour for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching. Sorry about the shadow there, but helmet owls looks kind of goofy in my opinion, but I love a thumbs up and a subscribe. And if you have any plans to come to Hawaii, please let me know. I love your comments in the comments section. And once again, please go and watch the Maui Food Line video. Just type in Maui Food Line in YouTube. You'll see the video. Please share it on your platforms, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or just email it to a friend. Please, trying to bring some awareness to the need here on Maui, and I appreciate if you can give to the Maui Food Bank. And certainly if you're ever in the market for real estate on Maui or anywhere in Hawaii, I have a little team of agents that I refer to. They're not necessarily always with my company. They're the best agent I know on that island, and I'll refer you to them, and they'll take great care of you. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Aloha.